almost laughing out loud, but wanting to cry at the same time. I can relate to this degree. Hello, welcome back. We are on the Taurus Scorpio 8 axis, and this is a beautiful emotional axis. We are still in the receptive feminine mode here. Let's start with the stones. On Scorpio, we're looking at Moonstone. It channels the moon, new beginnings, inner growth, and strength. It adds to that. Enhances inspiration, intuition. It promotes success, abundance, good fortune in love and business. It helps you channel hope, love, fertility, sensitivity, enhances feminine receptive energy. It helps us be stress-free and balanced. If you struggle with rage, it can help with that as well. It's an emotional healer. Taurus 8, the stone is Larvikite, and I will leave a spelling of that in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. It gives you clarity, discernment, protection. It stimulates your inner visions, enhances psychic abilities, allows us to see into the past clearly, giving visions of past life recall. It neutralizes what is no longer needed, repels negative energy. Since we're here, we will take a look at the symbols for Taurus, Taurus 8. A sleigh on land uncovered by snow. A man lost in a tiny forest. A very complicated hedge maze. A solitary wheel rolling through a forest. Inspired by landscape, a poet composes an ode. A lot about the forest here. So let's take a look at the sleigh without snow. This is a degree that you just innately have the ability to know things intuitively. Just don't overthink it. You seem to understand things before you know them, before they happen. You always seem to be prepared because you have a sense that comes from within that is your guidance, and you follow it. If you follow it, it helps you always be prepared. Know when things are going to happen before they happen. The sleigh not having snow on it means you've got your vehicle prepared, it's ready to go, but it's not needed yet, but it's ready when you are. So using your imagination in a future-oriented way, like being able to see into the future, so seers and preparers, so you use that information that you get to prepare for the future. Having a sense of being between two worlds. The man lost in a tiny forest and a solitary wheel in the forest. We are the wheel in the forest. You could feel lost here, but when you are outside of the boundaries, like you're not in society, you're not in the forest, you're at the edge of the forest, you can go either way, and you decide what works best for you. So there's a feeling of that here. See life as a treasure hunt, and that you seem to learn something at every turn. It helps you feel less out of control. This is one of those degrees where if you allow it, your soul takes over, so you do things that you may not even understand. It's like, I don't even know where I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I have to get there. And you just lean into that. Your soul will take you where you need to go. So let's take a look at Scorpio. The silvery moon shining across a beautiful gem of a lake. Another way of saying that. A calm lake bathed in moonlight. A woman in a hot bath. Outside, snow is falling. A retarded man with white hair. He has an angelic countenance. A man lays in bed calmly listening to a poltergeist. At night, the moon finds a place to dance. A very emotional, psychic degree, and a surrendering to the voice within is required here. The retarded man, let's talk about that. Even if you're an intellectual on this particular degree, that intellectuality will be turned on its head Because if we overthink things and worry and justify and intellectualize everything, we leave little room for noticing synchronicities and hearing the small voice within. One of the messages here is that all we really need to do, all that really matters, is to present a calm mind upon which a light may be reflected, where, you know, spirit can just shine the light and reflect it off of you. You just be still. Just be still. Even if you're someone who prefers a solitary way of being, you have to be in the world. And if you brace yourself against that and like, oh, I hate being in crowds, I hate this or that or the other, you're going to miss things. And so to adopt that calmness, no matter what you're doing, is called for here. Messages coming to us at night. The man laying in bed calmly listening to a poltergeist. At night, we calm ourselves. It's dark. We tap into the moon energy. And in doing that, it is easier for spirit to talk to us. So you may receive messages through dreams if this particular degree is very strong for you. Beyond all efforts lays the need for peace and readiness to accept the illumination from above. I had a dream that I think just combines both of these. It was a city scene. Everybody, I knew a few of the people in the dream. There were some friends and past family members in the mix, and they were all out going about their business, being sociable. And they're kind of milling about near my house, so like it's a really small street, narrow, where there's buildings on both sides. And finally I come out and I'm on a bicycle. I'm wearing red and I'm on a bicycle, but I'm just kind of like in my own little world, doing my own little thing, but people are noticing me. And I'm not sure that I want, like, I appreciate that they notice me, but I don't want to be noticed at the same time. I enjoy being in my own little world. I believe that speaks to this very strongly. It's people being in their own little world and really not sure if they want to be in the world because their imagination is where they feel very comfortable. So I think this is a very imaginative axis. If you had a dream, we would love to hear it, so please leave a comment. There's an ability here to completely immerse yourself in a way of imagining things in no matter the circumstance. So whether it's just like my dream where it's just a city scene and people are busy and I'm there but I'm really not, there's that ability here, and it can be in the most dire of circumstances. So one of the cautions that was given here, I would say, you know, with any energy there's always going to be a caution, but here the ability to imagine that you're in your own little dream world and you can handle anything no matter what the circumstances. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, am I imagining myself away to the point of it being a crutch? Am I putting up with things that I shouldn't be? So you have to be careful of that here, questioning your motives for why we're ignoring the outer reality. It feels like this is a writer, but in allowing, you know, not pushing, allowing. Receptivity, the feminine energy is to draw things to you. So leaning into that. And I will swing it back to Taurus to wrap it up here. If you feel lost in between two worlds, like with what you know is a lush, rich, imaginative life, and actually being in reality, and or you're trapped in a situation where you're really not sure how to get out, the very complicated hedge maze is where you can be, you know, we can get trapped in our own thoughts. The only way out is to perfect our ability to communicate with ourself, and that means to calm ourselves, to meditate. If your dreams are very strong, they're strong for a reason. They're reaching out to you, to listen to them, to have a dream journal, Write your dreams down. The more you do, the more you recall them, the more you learn from them, the more recall you have. It's just that it's building that memory muscle with ourselves. That's one way of communicating with yourself, is to give credence to dreams. Just don't say, oh, I ate, an enchilada last night and so I had this crazy dream. No, it's probably more to that. Dreams do speak to us. They do it in very rich imagery, but the more we respect them and talk to them and listen to them and write them down and give them importance, the more we learn from them. That's one example of how this particular degree could play out. A solitary wheel rolling through a forest. So being there, but not being completely in it. Silvery moons. Angelic countenance. Listening to Poltergeist. So that's what I have. I hope you're enjoying this. I really, really appreciate you guys being here. Till next time, take care.